Okay, well, good late afternoon, everybody. This is Jeremy Medeiros and JP Ruja coming to you from Nonsuch Island, Bermuda. We've had a fairly calm day, but the weather is starting to make up, and this follows a very stormy period with gale force winds. But we are here right now because 3 days ago on Thursday night, right as a gale was starting, which in the end gusted up to 50 knots, we saw that a Cahow had just returned to the CahowCam2 burrow, and literally minutes after it's returned, everything went out because the little microwave dish on the receiving tower on the mainland had broken loose, and so we lost everything from there. And so JP has been spending the last 48 hours climbing up the Doppler radar tower on Cooper's Island, replacing the dish, confirming that the old one was fried, more or less, and we've just replaced the transmit dish on Nonsuch. So hopefully everything is going to be back up as of tonight. But in case it isn't, I also wanted to take a look at to see who is in the nest here. I suspect it's the female bird, and if so, she's almost certainly laid an egg. If she hasn't laid an egg, then it's probably not her. It's probably either a prospector or perhaps Samson, the male bird. We will see. I don't think it's Samson, but it might be. It's just hard to tell. So I'm going to take a look, and we'll see what we can find out. All right. Yep. Okay. Urgh. Well, there's no egg. Ow, ow, ow. There's no egg yet, and he's bitten me, which makes me think it's not the female, and it's probably not Samson. So do we have another prospecting bird? Very likely. If it is, I am going to put this bird in a spare nest because we don't want another vicious fight breaking out. We're going to see. Before I even weigh him, or her, I'm going to check the band number. Yeah, this is not her or him. This is a young prospecting bird. E0526, and that band number sounds vaguely familiar to me. It may be a bird that we've already picked up prospecting in either this burrow or one of the other ones. I don't know, but yeah, he is not going to be going back into that nest. I have a spare nest, which is actually really good, up the hill, and I'm going to put him in that because if he's here when the female returns, he will probably try and mate with her, and if he's still here when Samson returns, he has a good chance of being absolutely killed, or even Samson being injured in the ensuing fight. We've seen that twice already, 2 different years. I don't want to see it again, because either for Samson, he's one of our prize, one of the most productive males in the history of the Cahow research project, recovery project, and I don't want to see a young, potentially valuable prospecting male also get seriously injured or perhaps even killed. It does happen. Okay, so this is 832. This is kind of what I feared, actually, because I had seen prospecting birds landing in this area before the camera went out in windy conditions. So it's not all that surprising. So, okay. So E05, let me just confirm, 526? Yeah, 526. Okay. Yeah, Samson, of course, his number is E0174, and his mate is E0643. So we know for a fact. That's why banding these birds is absolutely essential. You just don't know what the heck's happening if you aren't able to positively identify them. All right, so I'll get his weight. I knew as soon as I picked him up and there was no egg that, yeah, this isn't Samson, and this is most likely a prospecting bird. So, I think as the population is growing, Experience from other projects around the world have proven that interspecies fighting increases, and I think that's exactly what we're starting to see with the Cahow for the first time probably in 4 centuries, you know, because they just haven't been numerous enough. Let's see, fairly heavy, but not as heavy. Samson would come in probably at about 440 grams or so. This one is 355, so minus the weight of the bag. Let's see, the bag, yeah, 355, so 345, 337 grams. Yeah, that's quite light, but that's what you'd expect to find with a prospecting male. 337, because they're spending a lot of time flying around and checking out everywhere. Okay, so I am just going to double check, and what I'll probably do is actually use this opportunity. Yes, please. I just want to check and make sure that there is in fact no egg. Yeah, no egg. No egg at all. It's a shame. But we know that the CahowCam2 pair is one of the latest returning pairs, and always has been. They're just tardy about coming back, and it's unusual because CahowCam1 is one of the earlier returning pairs. So they're very different in a lot of ways, including their interactions with each other. CahowCam1, they tend to fight viciously among themselves for whoever is going to incubate the egg. And these guys get along much better, but because this is such a desirable nest, it's constantly being invaded by prospectors. And I'm not sure how we're gonna, I think the only way to alleviate that a little bit is to build additional nests. And there's actually room to put in 2 or 3 of them just to the east of this. So I am going to check everything on him, do all the morphometrics, including wing chord, which is 268. Okay. Okay. So, wing chord 268. See, and there's a method in my madness, is that if I'm doing this extra work with him, it's likely to be, he's going to remember that, and is less likely to come back to this nest, because when he was here, he was poked and prodded and measured and stretched and everything. So it's all part of, gently discouraging him from coming here, because the alternative is to watch a vicious fight in which Samson will probably kill this bird. Just get it around the neck and just rip its head half off. I've seen that. It is not pretty. They can be vicious fighters when they want. Oh, that's a very long tarsus length. 39.2 millimeters. Okay. 39.2. Tarsus. I've already got the weight. So the next thing I'm going to measure is the tail length. And the trick is finding the base of the Cahows have unusually long tails for petrels, and so you have to find where the base of the tail feathers are, and it's literally right here. So yeah, very, very long. Okay. So 60. Yeah, 121.2 millimeters, 121.2. Okay, now bill. This is always the part they like the least, but it's important, and it's also a good way of confirming, if he hasn't laid an egg, confirming that In fact, it is a male. Okay, we're almost finished, mate. This is the last bit. Okay, so that's definitely a male, a young male. Okay, so this pair still hasn't returned. So what I'm going to do, I've actually got a beautiful, don't you dare, I've got a beautiful nest for him up the hill. And that's where I'm going to put him in. And I'm going to let him discover the entrance. So here we go. Okay. Yeah, and so right next to the R823 nest and R821 is a unused nest. This will be R844. So if he accepts it and then manages to attract a mate to it. So we'll see. I won't bother him at all. Just let him get accustomed to his new. He's got the beginnings of a nest in there already that I made. It's a good nest. That's the nest chamber lid. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you in touch. This hasn't been very successful in the past, but it has been successful in a couple of occasions where I've been able to, hey, there's nothing wrong with this nest and everything, but everybody wants the same nest. It's like homes, some homes just everybody wants. Okay, so from Jeremy and JP on None Such Island, getting ready to have the sunset, so I think we better get ourselves to shore. All the best, and everybody have a good one, and let's hope that the Cahow cams are working again. All the best.